I kind of like that one still.
I know it's the wrong music, but welcome to Old Gray Bricks. I am your interim host, Troubles Bricking, along with me as a longtime How Do You Do, Irradiated Pink Wheels, and then, of course, our friend from the north, Jeff Van Winden, VW Bricks. Mr. Giddens is still in the process of moving from Atlanta to South Carolina. He's actually in transit to South Carolina this evening, so that's why he's not able to join us. Mark has decided to go down to south of the border to Florida. He is visiting our friend, the show Ryan at Legoland. They may actually join us in a bit.
You mean South Canada then?
South Canada.
Well, yeah, South Canada.
South Canada.
We all go at wintertime. So.
Wintertime, yes. The Canada of the South, Florida. And then Mr. Gunning, he is in New York, I believe, and he said he's going to join us. He was almost to his destination, and he's been jonesing for some Lego chat, so he said he was going to join us. And so therefore, up until about 5 minutes ago when Meredith and Jeff joined, it was going to be the Troubles Bricking Hour. It still very well could be, so time will tell. That being said, I wanted to show off my cool hat. Did you guys get one of these? Did you not know about it?
No.
Yeah.
I'm a Bahugman. I have not been to the Lego store in a long time.
I was lucky that I happened to have popped in when they had these. I was very fortunate with that. And I was told, and I even made the mistake of saying, because I was told that it was the same as the R2 hat. And I was like, no. I think the R2 hat was much taller and it had more space. No, it's literally the same hat, just a different deco. So
I didn't know there was an R2 one either. So
the R2 one was given out on May the 4th.
Okay.
Yes. Now I don't know. Well, I got mine on May the 1st, so I don't know if they gave them out all week. I assume they gave them out all weekend. I did find this out recently because I was in there, and actually it was when I got this hat, and the manager was talking to one of the associates, and he said, hey, take that sticker off of one of the displays that showed that if you spent such and such amount of dollars or such and such on city products, you got the little city poly bag and the little Mars rover poly bag that was a GWP. And I was like, I never heard about that. And he said, marketing's not publicizing things anymore. And I was like, oh, okay, wow. So it was like I think they even said they had the poly bags for like 2 days and then they were out of them. So very strange that Lego marketing is not publicizing anything.
They were online. They were listed as online.
They probably were, but I don't even remember. But it's not like I saw an Instagram page, or it's not like I saw an Instagram ad or a Facebook ad. It was, they just put it up, it was there, and then poof, it was gone, and that was it. And the same thing, I went in this weekend because one of the store managers said, stickers. Or like, go full screen, show you the stickers. So there's one with the 3-in-1 space dog. And then, of course, one with the 2 aliens, and then one with the space kitty and a friend in the background. And they're like reflective, so they've got this iridescent reflectiveness to it. Again, this was something like I think he said they had them for like a couple days. And they were gone. And it's not like, I mean, I remember when there was a time when you could walk in there and they'd have like a stack of stickers. They'd be there for like a week. They had so many of them. But now, not so much. Not so much. So I thought that was kind of weird. Oh, and again, I guess I'm going to go ahead and flex this now just because we're talking about it. But I got this.
So sweet.
Yeah. It's not going to focus, is it?
Is that an official Lego product?
This is not an official Lego product.
Okay.
This was given to Lego store employees for them to wear on their Lego space aprons.
Okay.
And I was gifted one. So
technically that would make it official then. It was something that
it's official from Lego, but it's not, there's no SKU number for you to purchase. I got lucky. The store man or the assistant manager at my store, he was able to gift me one that they had an extra, so I was very excited about that. Before I forget, because I'm horrible at this, Alternate candidate bricks is in the chat. Battery power bricks is in the chat. Nick is in the chat. Yeah, if marketing isn't promoting giveaways, it's a distribution qualification left to the stores. That's a good question. That's a good question. And who knows?
I'm assuming the system would tell them what to do, right?
We know if they're left up to their own devices, who knows what could happen. Hello, Cosbricks. This is distribution and weird store policies and different things. Here's another little tidbit that I found out this week that I thought was interesting, because I've been threatening my store employees that, if one of them actually goes home and forgets to take the apron off, I can't be held responsible if they get mugged on the way to the car for their apron. Nudge, wink, wink. This is such a joke. If this actually happens, I have a complete alibi. I never leave the house during the week, so it's fine. But I heard from another friend of the show who is a Lego store employee that those aprons will get destroyed. That the managers have to keep account of them and collect them all back at the end of the promotion time, and that they have to actually cut a hole across the Lego logo to destroy them and then dispose of them. So I thought that was interesting. At the same time, I wasn't really surprised, but saddened all at the same time. So, welcome, Captain Xavier. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. You got a weird glare going on. Lots of sunshine out there in the West Coast today?
Yeah, probably just there's no sunshine here at all.
He's traveling through light speed.
He's either that or he's a vampire and he's twinkling to death. I don't know.
He is from the Pacific Northwest. So.
I was making that correlation right there. So let's do now that we've got 4, which I would call a quorum. We've got 4 corners. And I'm going to go against the grain and start with Jeff. Tell us what you got going on in your Lego world.
Just because I lived on a farm for half my life, you're going to put me against the grain. Wow.
I'm going to put you on the grain. Put you on the grain.
Give me 2 seconds here. Let me just grab this. I thought you were going to go with Meredith because that would be counterclockwise. Or
that's what I said. I was going against the grain.
Yeah.
More of a wood thing than a crop thing, but
Yeah. So I've been building keeps for the past week.
Keeps
for my castle. I'm basically I need to get better glass from Victor because the ones that are here are not the ones I want. I want the Knights Castle ones, or the original 80s Knights Castle. But so I've got that one. I need more of those. But I've basically been building, the Great Hall, and such, and it's fairly sturdy. The base, this lower piece did break off on one of these earlier today, so I'm looking to try and fortify that. And I've run out of panels, so I've got a big gap up top. So I now have ordered more panels, and this is the dais for the king stuff, or for the banquets. So I've been working on that. The original keep background story. The original keep from my castle I built over 2 weeks just before Brick Fair, Alabama, in 2022 in January. So I had limited brick. I built it as best as I could, and I always wanted to come back and rebuild it and revisit it. So I'm rebuilding it, maybe making it taller to compete against or to compete with Rich, maybe. And just building it bigger and stronger and more portable. These units I can actually fit into boxes a bit better versus the previous one, which I had to put into a weirdly shaped weak box, and never survived the journey. So, yeah, I've been working on that, ordering lots of Bricklink and Pick a Brick orders, and you name it. I've blown through 240. Hold on, I'm just trying to get the piece off here. Why is it that 240 of the 1x4 light gray panels, the 1x4 versions of these.
Oh, a little bracket.
And I've just ordered another couple of hundred. And just basically, I'm at the point where I'm just basically now ordering parts and building what I can until they come in, and then, continuing at that point. So I plan to grab this one. This is the third side, so this is the actual front gate, farthest away from the castle, or from the bottom of the castle. And I'm working on some upper structure as well, just to give the roof more structure. Because after this, I'm going to plate this off, And then the towers are going to continue up, and I'm going to probably try and do some kind of spiral with the towers because there's 8 towers, and hopefully have some of the building follow with it, so that the building gets taller as well. But I haven't really figured out how I'm going to do it or what I'm going to do yet. I'm just kind of playing it by ear and figuring out how it goes. So, but yeah, just building away. I still have way too much stuff to do for like my next show's in November, so I'm not rushed. I still need to. Sorry, I'm just trying to pull something else out of here. I still need to take the bouncy castle and retrofit it into my the castle ground or the area around the castle. I need to build another 2 feet on one of the sides. So I got lots to keep me busy, but no time to actually take care of that. But yeah.
Cool deal. I was going to ask you when was your next display, because I'm also in that same mode of I don't have any motivation to be building anything specific because I'm not going to be showing any shows until February of next year.
Yeah. November for us is the Toronto one. We were originally going to have one in September, in August or September in Quebec, but that one has kind of fell through. So at least I think it is. From what we know, it's not happening, but it could still happen. And if it does, I'll go. But
time will tell. Time will tell. All I know is that Simon keeps traveling to Europe, so I think that's where all the cool shows are happening.
Yeah, pretty much. I think he just wants. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think he's in the Czech Republic.
He is in Prague, or at least that's where he landed at one point in time. So yes, he is amongst my people in that, or my wife's people, our people in that side of the world. So who else we got in here this evening? We also got Axleplate, Grumpy J, Ryan from New Zealand, Entertainingly Lame, and we have Matthew's Bouncy Cam, as Nick has pointed out. So hello, Mr. Gunning. How are you?
Sitting on my belly.
I was going to say it was sitting on my. Is it bigger than a bread box?
It's 16 hours over 2 days, and I am in exotic Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania.
Ooh.
Today. Holy cow! Look who's
Mr.
here.
Campbell has joined us. Here, I thought it was going to be the Troubles Bricking Hour, and now I finally have 6. So I'm very happy with this. This is good. This is good. Welcome back from Florida, Mr. Campbell.
That's funny. I'm actually going to Florida in a couple days. So.
Yeah, it actually doesn't surprise me in any stretch of the imagination. How many times a year do you actually get to Disney World?
Well, last year was kind of a weirdo. But I like to go 4 times if I can.
4 times?
Well, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump down the road.
It is true. Actually, my one of my old bosses, he has I think they have I want to say they have a timeshare, but I actually think they actually have a second home, because for as many times as I see him down there, I think he actually lives there part-time of the year.
So, I mean, at least 2 trips a year, kind of a cheat deal for me, because I do the Marriott and the Hilton timeshare offers, where you get like 4 nights free, but you have to show up for 2 hours to listen to a presentation you can turn down.
Nice. Like a timeshare
on the hook, and they keep inviting me. So, I mean, it's a free 4-night stay.
It's their fault. It's their fault.
And exactly. And I have an annual pass at Disney, so the tickets don't cost me extra.
Right.
So
no, they just cost you 1 arm and 1 leg.
That's true, but it makes it back if you keep going. You see. I mean, think about how much money I save at the Lego store alone with my discount.
This is true.
I get an extra 20% off at the Lego store.
Is anybody else's screen showing
and
Chris looking like pixelated, or is it just me?
Oh.
Chris is? He looks like he's from the 80s.
Really?
His audio is a little sketch for me, but he looks like
the audio may just be your connection, but I see Chris.
I see the problem.
You see the problem? There we go.
Everyone else sounds fine. Chris sounded a little murky.
2020s. He lost audio though.
Now we've lost it. He's muted himself by accident.
No, he's still in there. Oh, he muted.
Yeah, he's muted.
It says muted.
I thought you said booted, and I'm like, no,
muted. Here, I'll unmute.
You're muted. We can't hear you, but your lips are moving.
Can I unmute him? There we go. Yeah.
technology.
Yeah, it's apparently reset all my settings. My camera was on like 320 and my
jeez.
mic was using the camera. Who knows?
I actually, when I logged
Who
in,
needs a
this evening-
fancy podcasting setup when you can just use the 80s technology?
when I logged in this evening to StreamYard, everything was reset. So I had to set my screen name, everything. It was kind of weird. So crazy. We got Cliff Brick, clicking Cliff also in the chat. Mr. Gunning, I'm sorry, we jumped into Mr. Campbell joining us this evening because I wanted to talk about I wanted him to flex on his Florida, whatever. But so where are you? What are you doing? Give us your Lego life this week, or what's going on? No, that
My
might be
face
too
is
much.
so big. Let me back.
That might be too much math. Yeah, that might just be too much.
I got my special hat for June.
Lion
I
pride.
am on a multi-day journey to the Bronx for a teacher conference on putting more stats into basic classes. Co-sponsored by the National Science Foundation. So, nerd alert, nerd.
Yeah, big time.
But on my way to the nerd convention, I am knocking out counties, and at the end of this journey, I will have finished 5 new states: Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Delaware, and New Jersey. Some of those I only needed 1 county to complete them, but I will have 5 states in the book, and Maryland will be just 2 counties shy of being finished. So,
Whoa.
Yeah, baby.
Wow.
And you're all going to feel terribly sorry for me, but I am going to be forced to take a ferry boat ride out to Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket because each island is a separate county in the state of Massachusetts. So the things you have to do to check off every county, it's terrible. I tell you.
Yeah. Just make sure you don't fall into the water and get accosted by a mermaid.
But I am doing it as a 1-day trip because it was $500 to spend a night on the island.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's an expensive bed and breakfast.
So that was the cheap ones.
Yeah, I bet.
And so I will go out and back. I am sleeping on the shore. So I'm not sleeping on the island, but
make it a day trip.
Yeah. But I do have one free day on Friday, and I'm going into New York City, and I might go to the flagship store, which I assume is at 30 Rock. Is that?
I think so.
The New York one.
Yeah.
If I can work it in with some of the other sites, I'm going to try to see on my 1 day off, and I'm going to go to a Yankees game on Sunday night because I've never been to the stadium. So one more Major League Baseball stadium will check that off. So. It's crazy because I just got back from a 2-week trip to my nephew's graduation in Colorado. I was home for 8 days. I got in the car for this trip where I'm gone for 11 days, and then I'm home for 16 days, and then we get in the car to go to Bricks Rodeo. And then my summer travel is over. I think. So.
I don't want to. I don't want to feel bad for you when you get finally home and your cats no longer know who you are.
Well, Thomas stayed home on this trip, so he is.
Well, they don't know who he is, kind of.
Well, I'm already clearly person number 2 in the house.
The cats might turn to the dark side while you're away.
This is what happens when one person in the relationship is home almost all the time, and the other person leaves the house. You become person number 2, the person who leaves the house. So
yeah, it also helps. Well, you guys have automatic feeders, but my wife gets a little irritated because the cats are they gravitate towards me because I'm the feeder. I'm the feeder, and so therefore she's like, they're your cats. I'm like, no, they're our cats. They just gravitate towards me because I'm feeding them. So,
but I started to repeat the Jeff Van Winden Magical Mystery Tour of all the Lego stores along my journey. And I stopped in Greenville, South Carolina, and they did have a few things on their wall that I decided it wasn't anything like super amazing or anything, but there were a few parts that had not shown up in Atlanta. So I got a large box there, and they were saying that they sold out of all of their Baradur sets, and everything new sold out the first day. that they had a huge line, and it's a tiny store. If you ever went to the old store at Birmingham, Alabama, it's about that size. Like it's a postage stamp as far as Lego stores go. And even I stopped in Sunday afternoon, and I had to wait a few minutes before I could go in the store because they had a maximum of how many people they would allow in.
And that's just a capacity issue, not a COVID
Yes.
thing. That's just capacity. Yeah.
Correct. It's a small.
Which is crazy. Yeah. No, I it's a very good point. I did go to release day on the 1st on Saturday. I did not go at the very, very beginning. I waited and because I actually was able to. No. I used my perk and I emailed or I messaged ahead saying, "Hey, can you save me a cat and a Captain Rex?"
Oh, but you didn't get the Bauer because they sold out.
No, they had 33 copies of the Bardor. They only had 30 GWPs, and they sold out of all 33 of the sets in an hour. They had 150 people in line when they opened the door.
I got the slip for the 16th Bardor at Sugarloaf. They had 40 sets, 39 GWPs.
Yeah.
By 11, they had already sold 33. So I'm sure they were all gone by noon.
Yeah. And
all of a sudden, I'm very glad I didn't show up June 1st.
Yeah, and I'm actually really surprised because I haven't heard of that kind of a line and that kind of a sellout of a set in a long time. They even told because I was even glad that I asked for the Captain Rex. I was told this was the first set they sold out of. Was just the little Rex. The little Rex. Yeah.
Rex is crazy popular with the younger kids these days.
Well, he is. He is.
Yeah, there's two things.
Crazy popular with everybody. What do you mean younger kids?
I was going to say
those Gen Xers, millennials. They just not Gen Xers. Those millennials, they just can't get enough of Captain Rex.
I checked on June 1st. I ended up doing a quick news segment, and I checked Shop at Home at that point, and that was the only set that was back ordered by like 2:00 on June 1st.
Yeah.
And it's because the Rex only came in that expensive one, right? The expensive set. So
well, only recently because then there's these two, and he goes for 110 and he goes for 130. So that's why getting him for $12 or whatever it is a freaking steal. So that's why people were picking him up.
I don't even want to think what I sold that battle pack for that has the Captain Rex in it. Yeah. I think I sold my battle pack for like $75-$80. Yeah. And now that figure, but that's the whole thing. You never know.
Yeah. So. Well, I mean, because I've been going through and looking for, I'm in nostalgia for my microfighters. So I'm pulling out all my microfighters and trying to find where they all are on the basement because I know I've picked them all up. And while I was doing that, I found the bag of that Captain Rex set. So I had forgotten that's where he was in there. So yeah, just sitting down in the basement. In a tub.
My GWP, the Fell Beast GWP sold within 24 hours. Dana already knows. How much do you think it sold for on Bricklink?
180.
125. So between that and my $100 in VIP points, I only paid like $230 for my Bauer set.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yes.
And the fact that you don't care about the GWP is impressive because, I mean, if you're figuring, I know you collect Lord of the Rings sets, so I would have thought you would have kept that GWP.
I did think about it. I decided if I could sell for more than 100, I would, just to bring down the cost of the set.
It was kind of ugly, in all honesty.
I was going to kind of say, it was, how do I say this? It looked like it was really limited by the fact it was a GWP, and it kind of looked half-assed. Excuse my French. Half-butted.
The only thing that I think was really unique about it is I think the wing fabric may have been unique to the set, but I think you could actually build everything else that was in the set.
Even the Nazgul in it was nothing special. It was just straight up. But I think only the wings is the only thing in there.
Yeah.
And to me, I was like, I don't know, no big deal. What's up, Moto?
We could just get Mayor to the sale company to make us some fake wings for it.
Exactly.
I'm sure they probably do.
Yeah, I actually need to get with Meredith and find out her fake wing company because I actually want to
minifig capes for you, I think.
Yeah, I really
I'll
want
go
to
look it up.
review the dragon in multiple colors, which I think would be fun to do.
A dragon in every color. That's what a girl wants.
Well, not every color, but just the main color.
Oh, okay, you're right. Light aqua and dark aqua. I get it.
Speaking of colors, I want to know everybody on here. I already know Meredith, but I will announce, as people don't know, I am Team Teal.
Team Teal.
Team Teal. Jeff Van Winnen.
I chose teal too.
Teal.
But
Mr.
it wouldn't have
Campbell?
been my first choice if there were darker colors.
Mr. Campbell, what color did you choose? Do you not know what we're talking about?
I have no clue what we're talking about.
You haven't voted?
Lego Ideas.
I have been swamped with work the last.
Okay,
2
well, let it slide. Lego Ideas has their one of the new sets that got approved was the minifigure gumball machine, and they are allowing the fans to vote on which color Spaceman gets added to it, and there are 5 new colors: teal, magenta, light bright yellow, or light bright orange,
Gold.
A light green.
gold, and lime. I think is what it was.
Yeah, lime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was 4 castle torsos
4
as
castles.
well.
Which was
4
Kraken,
different
Crow.
factions.
I forget.
Full,
It was
Kraken.
a
and
Kraken,
then
a Griffin, the Bulls, and the I
Crows.
can never bother
The
the
Black
Army
Crow.
Knight.
The print on the Kraken is gorgeous.
Yeah.
I wanted to vote for the Kraken, except for I know everybody's going to vote for the Kraken, so I voted for the Black Crows. Just to
I-
be that way.
I voted for the crows as well because we already have a crow figure, and I want to have a figure that I can use to increase that faction, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I was torn between wanting to be able to boost an old faction if the fig ever hits the pick-a-brick, and wanting a whole new faction.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Deep down, I'm desperately hoping that this is a prelude to them releasing a castle line that has a faction of Kraken army where they're all like the bad guys from Game of Thrones. The
well, the
White Walkers?
no,
No.
Well, they are.
yeah, but
They are bad guys.
but the name of the
can't
house
think
that
of
you're
the name
thinking
now.
of,
But they're not human. They're
I also can't remember what their name is either. But yes,
Like House to
Are we talking about what is dead may never die? The
Yes.
yeah,
House
them,
Greyjoy?
what's their faction? I can't think
House
of it.
Greyjoy.
Yes.
House
Greyjoy,
Greyjoy.
okay.
Yes, there we
Yeah,
go.
it's Greyjoy. The Greyjoy.
Yes.
And Griffin's
all
a big
bad
cool thing, but
factions.
yeah, I would love it if they came out with a whole castle faction where they had, the Greyjoys, and then they had a Griffin faction, and bring back the Bulls. Why not? They were a cool faction.
That seems like a very kid-appropriate TV show.
And did which color Spaceman did you vote for?
I couldn't be bothered.
You.
So, how much do we need to pay you?
Well, I do have to say that Moto voted for Medium Azure. That was my number 2 spot. That is
Yeah.
my
That would
number.
be my number 2 as well.
So
had-
I guess it ended at 3 this afternoon.
Oh, you're kidding me.
No, it did. It ended because I just went there to look, but I don't see these colors you're talking about. I see bright bluish green, bright yellowish
That's-
green,
That's
Yeah, that's the
teal.
Lego names.
Yeah,
but-
that's the Lego.
okay,
name.
reddish violet, warm gold, and dark azure.
We're
which is
using
about-
the Bricklink names.
Yeah.
Bricklink.
the proper names.
The real colors.
The useful, actual
The
descriptive.
King's English names.
I have to
Yeah,
order
there we
so much directly from Lego anymore that it's like I'm getting used to their names now, and I don't like it.
You're going bad on us.
Oh, you have been drinking the Kool-Aid a little close to the teat, haven't you?
I can't sell used bricks, man. I can't.
No, you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't. It's understandable. It's completely understandable.
I will report from my travels that I tried a Costco and there was 0 Lego, and I tried a small town Walmart and found absolutely nothing this time. So I have struck out on the looking for Lego markdown. Apparently, it's the wrong time of year to be doing.
I think
that.
this is like the non. There's nothing. I mean, it's new sets came out, but nothing's being clearanced right now. It's
I was going to say, won't that happen in June or in July?
I was gonna say like right before school, I would think it would.
Yeah.
Oh, I would
Yeah.
think July when all the rest of the August releases come out.
Mhm.
I might have some luck on my trip to Texas, so maybe I'll hit a few Walmarts when I drive out to Texas.
Yeah, because isn't August? I think August 1st is like the next really big, like 150 plus sets coming out that time. For whatever reason, I thought the Batmobile came out June 1st, and I was completely wrong. It's not coming out to August 1st, which I was like, okay, cool. I have a few more months to worry about the huge bill I'm going to get from Lego, because all the freaking cool Dreams sets that they've got coming out August 1st are going to just kill me as bad as all the space sets did in the first part of the year.
Double points June 12th. If I didn't get the GWP, I would have held off to order my bar door for that. So
I have been being good. Like, I only went and picked up the cat because I wanted to get the cat. And then
you needed that cat.
Yeah, I need it. Well, not only that, because I will probably recolor it in a couple different colors, because it'll be easier to recolor him than it will be to recolor Sebastian, even though I am going to make a tabby to go along with Sebastian before I go to Chicago again. But anyway, Mr. Campbell, what's going on in your Lego world? Welcome back to the show for the long time on.
I don't know. I've been super busy lately, so Lego has not been at the forefront. Plus, my printer was down and had a very expensive repair, so that was not fun.
Again with the freaking printer being
down. It was actually broke, but it's fixed now, and I've caught up on orders. Yes, South Carolina, your stuff's on the way. Don't.
Well, I figured you were deep into busyness for work and this and that, because we haven't seen or heard from you.
Well, and I have been. It's been kind of crazy with the hospital. We bought out a hospital in Augusta, and we're having to upgrade everything to take them on. And
that's never fun.
Fun stuff.
No,
but I'm currently getting ready to head to Orlando Thursday to go to Brick Fan Expo.
Ah, yes, the other sister show.
Yeah, I wanted to be able to go to Brick World next week, but the work schedule just would not work out. So
I'm already.
This way I can go to Disney. Let's be honest.
Well, you make a triple threat out of it and stop at the New Atlanta Brick Company at the same time.
Yeah, I haven't been there yet because they weren't open. Well, I think they were technically open last time I was there, but I didn't get a chance to go. So.
Well, yeah, and then they just did the whole grand opening thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You're good to go there. I was going to say, I'm already starting to feel some FOMO because I went over to pick up some pieces from Brian and Mare on Saturday and saw Meredith's mock. She's getting ready for Chicago, and Steve Paluto has already boxed up his mock to take to Chicago, and I'm like, yeah,
nice.
Yeah, but actually, does anybody know how many people are actually going to Chicago this year?
I heard it's about 1,700 right now, and they sent out another SOS email. Was it Saturday or Sunday?
For space,
saying like, yeah, seriously, if you have space, we need it. Like right now, we cannot accommodate everybody. So, I reserved 4 tables, 2 high or 2 regular, 2 low for Friendship Timber, because Aubrey, for some reason, like her credit card flagged Brickworld as a fraudulent vendor, and she couldn't get her payment to go through for like 2-3 weeks. And so I'm just like, it's first come first serve. So she's like, can you just put in for space? And then I did 2 other tables for me, Aubrey, Nicole, and maybe Jean. And we'll have stuff in those 2 tables, but I don't know if we'll fill up the whole thing. So I guess I'm becoming the neighbor of all Lego Masters, because my first neighbors at my first Brick Forever was the Erickson brothers. And I guess we're going to, Crystal, who just came off Lego Masters Australia, apparently forgot. She's just been doing this worldwide tour thing of I won Lego Masters. And so it slipped her mind, and there wasn't enough room at the Lego Masters section. So we're going to be hosting her over in Friendship Timber. So
cool.
Because I was literally like 20 minutes away from writing the email being like, listen, I don't know if it helps you, but we need our double tables for Friendship Timber, and then we just need 1 table next to it. But I was about to send that, and then it's like, nope, she still needs it. So I am packing stuff up, making a few more shrubs.
Filling in some shrubbery.
Filling in some shrubbery. But yeah, like to be honest, I haven't fully put my mock together because I would have to pull everything off with the way it's built and build it back up. So I haven't seen my mock completely together yet. So it's going to be fun.
Well, I can say that I have seen pieces of it, and I think it looks fantastic. I'm excited to get to see it. I think it's going to be one of those cool World of Lights. People are like, "Oh, you got to go see this one tonight when it's lights out." So it's going to be cool.
It's going to be cool. Dana knows the secret. I did have the color changing crystals, which I posted like 3-4 weeks ago. So I have these little crystal growths, and they change color independent of each other. And it's very slow. So you look at it, and then like a minute later, you look at it, and the crystals are all different colors.
It's fantastic.
But I have one more effect that again I'm trying to keep secret until I show it off at Brickworld here in a week and a half. So, but
I know that even though they won't be there, the Erickson brothers will be very psyched for that reveal.
Yeah,
I think they really do.
So what else? And Brian bought all of Chris's leftover bulk.
Yeah.
Well, see, there's this family, and they're so adorable. I love them. They live down, I think, in Macon in South Georgia. And they love they won at ABC. They won Best GBC. Well, the daughter won Best GBC. I don't know. Again, it might have been a collab. I'm not going there, but I think she did a great job with it. But her brother and her and the whole family like to do GBC and do Lego, and they had no access to bulk. So we have lots of bulk sitting around. So Brian's been letting them sort our bulk for a portion of by weight, like what we used to do for Eric. And we've run out of bulk. So Brian's like, I'll just see if Chris has bulk bins I can buy, because they love it. They're just like, do you have more? Do you have more? And it's great because again, it's hard to get bulk. Like I would not have bulk unless we had gotten in touch with Chris. I mean, I would not have as many elements as I have. I'd have nothing. So
that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah,
wait. Rewind. You have no what?
If I didn't have any bulk, I wouldn't be able to build, it's just like, how do you get bulk?
Yeah.
It's, it's not something like, step number 1, this is how you get bulk. It's something that you got to figure out how to do via Facebook, whatever, or Nextdoor, stuff like that. So
open up Goodwill website.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. It's really expensive.
Yeah,
is that
it's
right?
very expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, too many people figured that one out.
Yeah, that's where Eric used to buy most of his bulk.
Yeah.
And it became uneconomical to buy bulk from Goodwill.
Does he still do
The
it?
price per pound was up there.
Because I know, even though he's not on here this evening, but Steve found a local mom who got rid of one of those big little cabinets with the drawers full of Lego, and I think he got it for like $20 or something.
Oh, that's a good price. Just for the drawer unit, that's a good price.
Yeah, I mean, but it wasn't the colored ones that you get. It was one of like the all white ones. But
the Sterlite,
nobody
likes those.
Nobody likes it. But still, the Lego inside, he's like you never find that around there anymore because people are too savvy about it anymore. It's just it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen.
Now you see on Facebook Marketplace, somebody has like this small container and they list it for $200 because they think it's like worth its weight. It's like, I'm like, hey, first of all, there's Mega Blocks mixed in. I can tell that. I've actually messaged people and be like, that is not Lego. You're not going to get what you're asking for it. Signed, someone who buys a lot of Lego.
I've determined Facebook Marketplace has become
we're filthy with bulk.
What's that?
Y'all got to come to the Pacific Northwest. We're filthy with bulk.
Well, I know that, like in the where does Dave Cowdice live? Jeff, is he Pacific Northwest or is he?
Dave Cowdice
Toronto.
lives 2 hours away from me.
Right, I know, but where? Okay, well, I couldn't.
He's in Ontario. He's north of you guys.
I couldn't tell you where Ontario is on a map either. So
Canada's really big, and we're from the U.S. We don't understand geography.
He's north of you guys. Like,
All I know is Canada is big and it's north of the entire United
He's
States.
he's southern Ontario, which is basically like East Michigan.
Well, I know that the reason I'm bringing him up is
Michigan.
that he is constantly posting pictures on Facebook of his whatever secondhand store that constantly has bags.
Yeah.
And it's always like classic sets that are hidden in there. It's so
We think he has a horseshoe lodged up in part of his body.
I would
and-
definitely think so.
Yeah.
I would definitely think so.
He also has 4 of those stores in his area, and every night they basically drive to one of those stores and go for a walk in that area, and then like they check out the store or something.
That's just
Oh.
The best Lego store in my area is Bricks and Wheels, and they had their 100th or their 10th anniversary this weekend. And one of the prizes you could win from their raffle was a gallon bag of bulk Lego every week for a year.
Ooh.
wow.
52 gallons of Lego.
That's intense.
I put in for that one on the raffle.
Yeah. Although at the same time, though, I think probably by the end of that year, I'd be tired of sorting bulk.
Yeah, I've still got
I'm
3
tired of
tons
sorting
bulk
bulk.
that I need to sort through from collections I bought, because I can find them here on Craigslist, OfferUp, and Facebook Marketplace. There's always
Yeah. Now around here, between the fact that there is a Bricks and minifigure, there's a new store that just opened.
I
in
saw. I was going to
Marietta.
ask. Has anyone asked? No, it was Roswell. It says.
Yeah, Roswell. The brick store is in
Yes.
Roswell. And then we also have Bricks and Boards, which is in Dawsonville. So we've got 3 stores that will gobble up bulk pretty quick. So the secondary market is pretty dry.
I'm not familiar
But-
with the brick store. When did that?
It literally opened this weekend, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, well that makes a lot more sense. Obviously.
We also live in a metro area of 6 million people, so I'm not sure they're not going to buy all of it.
That helps. That helps. Yeah, that helps. But while we're talking about the Pacific Northwest, what is up, Mr. Captain Xavier? Tell us
Let's
about
see, since the last time I've been on, I've been to a toy fair. The local toy fair usually has a couple of people that are selling good Lego, and here's my minifig haul from that.
Ooh,
I got a
Ooh.
lot of
That ain't bad.
not bad at all.
Castle. There's more. I got trolls.
Trolls.
What else did I get? I went to the Bricks and Wheels this weekend. Like I said, I picked up a couple of things there. I went to a Lego store. I got some more of the new Space. So I got some more of the Blacktron and more of the M-Tron. And when I first looked, I didn't realize that this is clearly meant to be a guy in a power suit.
Yes.
So I had to build a proper
Oh,
yeah.
power.
Nice.
very nice.
Much
That's
better.
awesome.
Very nice.
I really like how that one came out.
I approve. I applaud. Very, very cool.
Let's see, what else have I been up to? I of course continue with my heresy. The company that makes the cool breastplates decided to finally make a Fright Knight breastplate.
Nice.
So I was able to make heavy cavalry for the Fright Knights. I'm really hoping they do Black Knights at some point, because that would be an awesome faction to have pretty breastplates for. They also recently came out with more medieval infantry. A bunch of different interesting units with
Factions.
jagged people.
Factions. I was told there'd be no math.
No, not fractions. Factions.
Ba-dum-bum.
Ba-dum-bum. We got these guys with red, or white and yellow with a red dragon.
I like the shield.
Very colorful.
These ones, I'm not sure where I'm gonna put them, because they've got.
You're gonna put them in the purple rain.
They're clowns, aren't they?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
You bought them, but you don't know.
Last one. A fleur-de-lis pattern.
That's pretty.
I fart in your general direction.
And the final one, well, actually, I took one of the torsos from one of the ones because they had breastplates, so they didn't need their printed torso. And I was able to make Wolfpack medium infantry.
Not bad.
Using the legs are from one of the new Viking sets that I'd ordered a bunch of and then couldn't find a torso that they matched, but they went great with these ones. So.
Problems, first world problems.
Yeah. I need to go through all of my armies and recatalog it all and update my spreadsheet and order more parts. I also picked up the original Retro Spaceman to go with the new
With the Chicky?
Lady Retro Spaceman, so I have the matched set of those two.
Which I don't know if anybody else knows or realized or made this connection to both of those to begin with, but if you are familiar with what records are or LPs, the original Star Wars and Other Galactic Funk album did not have a Star Wars art on the cover of the album. It had a very Buck Rogers space guy and a gal with a bubble helmet, and those figures actually resemble or have a 5 to that album cover. So I think that that's where those are nodded from, even though yes, they are probably Flash Gordon and Dale Arden to begin with, but also those figures on that album cover had a very Flash Gordon, Dale Arden look to them as well. So fun stuff.
I'm also continuing to upgrade my castle. I finally got dark gray base plates to replace the green base plates that were under the dark gray.
Was it unsightly to have them the wrong color?
What?
I said, was it unsightly to have them the wrong color? That you now need?
When I first started this, the city was built on ground level, so the green was fine. But they're now 8 bricks high.
So it sticks out with your thumb.
Is dark gray Duplo brick to build up the base, and then a layer of brown, and then a layer of green, and that's where it is now. So I can actually do basements and tunnels and caverns and catacombs and whatnot under the city. At this point, the city is almost as high as the castle wall, so I either need to raise the mountain that the castle's built on or build higher walls, because that just doesn't look right.
First world
The
problem.
castle no longer looms like it used to, and a castle ought to loom, you know?
It should. It should loom. It definitely should loom.
Luckily, I got lots of brick.
Coolio.
That's what I got. I didn't buy any of the big stuff. I wanted the Rivendell set, and I wanted Barad-dûr, and I have the money. I just don't have anywhere to put it. And I'm gonna build it, and then if I don't have anywhere to display it, then it's gonna get torn apart and put back in the box, and that's not how I am. So
I hear you. I feel your pain.
Sounds like somebody needs to get rid of some Nerf guns.
Tragic is that the figs from those sets will never end up on the Lego.com pad because they're licensed.
No, they
won't. Sounds like you need to get rid of some Nerf guns to me.
Bah! I actually have recently been giving them away left and right. I just can't give them away fast enough.
Or just build another
reproduce
chef.
like
My address is.
they reproduce like tribbles, don't they?
They do. Yeah, people go to Goodwill because they watch my videos about going to Goodwill and buying Nerf blasters, and then they have too many Nerf blasters, and they just give them to me. I don't even have to do the thrifting anymore. They just show up.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy stuff.
Now, if I could get people to do that with Lego, it'd be great. Which
But people have done that for you with Lego, have they not?
Yeah. I've got vintage inbox Forceman sets that just showed up.
I wish all the random people that share news that I already know about to my Facebook feed would just share me like Lego that I don't know about. Like, hey, my neighbor had these at the garage sale, like, and I knew you love Lego, so here they are. Like, why can't they do that? I mean, that would be sweet.
There's this person I follow on Instagram, and her neighbor is constantly dropping old sets off at her house. I'm like, tell me you're at least baking them cookies or something, because I've only had one person drop a bag of Lego off at my house, and it was half of it was friends. But I digress. We all need more friends that drop Lego off at our houses. Saying. Speaking of friends, Meredith, did you want to share anything, or is that all going to be top secret until Brickworld?
I think I'm kind of keeping it a surprise, and it's half put away.
I will not talk anymore about it.
Yeah. That actually, they're upstairs.
Oh, okay. Well, you can share them next week.
Yeah.
Or we'll wait till Chicago, because those are going to be a lot of fun.
I'm just gonna throw it out there. I'm making the Empire friendly again.
Yes.
Ooh.
And I've seen some sneak peeks, and they are fantissimo. I love them. Oh, excited.
They're friendly. Very friendly. Thank you, Dana.
They're very friendly.
So following up on the dropping something comment that Dana just made. We opened we got 14 of our 16 bulk lug boxes, and when we opened them, there was a bag in one of the boxes that looked from a distance sure looked like weed, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure we didn't put that in our order. And I opened up the Ziploc, and it was not. It was like colored paper, but I was like, nope, that's not the correct smell for what I thought it was. But we were standing there like going, how did fake weed end up in our bulk lug order? Like, was this done in Denmark or Germany?
You got me all excited. I thought maybe they sent us like some extra stuff from bulk lug.
No.
Just paper. Just paper.
But the working hypothesis is that one of our bulk lug boxes became a test case for customs, and that they threw the fake stuff in to see if whoever's supposed to detect illicit drug entry could successfully detect it. But apparently they didn't, because it ended up at our house.
No, 95% of contraband makes it through TSA.
Right.
I can't remember how many knives I've taken on planes. Just
And
not
tomorrow,
even realizing it.
Tomorrow the DEA is going to show up at your door, Matt.
Well, I'm in Pennsylvania, so that'll be fine. It's actually at our treasurer's house, so she'll have to deal with the DEA.
All right. Well,
I think it really kind of depends on which airports you go through, because I have traveled in and out of Atlanta with a pocket knife in my laptop bag for like forever.
Yeah.
And it took me to go to Boston for them to confiscate it. However, in Atlanta, they did pull me out of line because I didn't realize I had left a brick separator in my pocket instead of putting it into the trays. And they pulled me out of line because it came up on the X-ray machine as, "Sir, what do you have in your pocket?" I didn't even realize I had it in my pocket still. So again, it depends on the day, depends on the TSA agent. But
No.
Natalie had a little bit of Lego in her knapsack. I'm trying to think, where were we going? I mean, she couldn't have been much more than 5 or 6. And I mean, it was a kid's knapsack. So they pulled it. I don't know what they saw in there, but they pulled it off and they made us come over. And I tried to crack with the lady because she's like, "Well, is there anything sharp in here I should know about?" I'm like, "Only Lego." And she didn't crack a smile. But seriously, like, it was like, it had like rainbows and unicorns on it. And clearly it was my daughter who was traveling with me, who was next to me, who was like 5 years old. Come on. And there was nothing in there. I don't know what it was. Oh, is that the fake?
that's the fake weed.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
my
nice.
God.
I think that should be a door prize at our next meeting.
It should be. It should be.
It
I will say this. I almost forgot.
And
same trip-
Francine will win it.
Well, that
Like,
would be
she'll be
Groovy
like,
Gran-
what
that
is
would give a
this?
whole new meaning to Groovy Granny. On the same trip that I went to Boston, and that they confiscated my pocket knife, they also pulled me out of line a second time because I had an entire large cup of light trans blue studs. I am
That is
sure that
suspicious.
showed up in the X-ray machine as being very interesting. And the guy who was like, he's like, "What is this?" I said, "It's Lego." He goes, "It's Lego?" I said, "It's Lego." He's like, "It doesn't look like Lego." I said, "It's Lego." And he
Well,
looked
read
at
the
it and he goes,
top of
"It
the
doesn't look like the
stud."
Lego I remember." I'm like, "Well, then it's been a while since you've Legoed."
Read the top of the stud, sir, where it says LEGO.
Well, but I guess he in his mind, I think Lego is just bricks. It's just a brick. That's all it is. Why would this be Lego? So that was kind of funny. But on other news, other than what I did pick up the cat, I did pick up the Rex. I've been working and playing with microfighters in general because I've gone back and looking for whatever I got. But I did do something that was it was a little, and I wasn't sure if I want to talk about it, but now that I've started talking about it, I'm going to talk about it. Let me share my screen here so I can show window. Here we go. Share. And there we go. So I had a guy contact me asking me to do a commission for him. And he referenced this Ice Planet cat that was originally on Lego Ideas. And I was like, well, that sounds weird. I mean, did you reach out to the guy and say, hey, can you build this for me? And the guy's like, I took it apart, and that was it in crickets. And I'm like, okay, I could probably reverse engineer that for you. And he's like, hey, can you also make an Mtron version out of it? And I was like, yeah, I can probably do that. And then he was looking through my stuff and he's like, oh man, those little robots you got that fit the figure. And it's like, could you do an Ice Planet one of those? I'm like, sure. I'll throw that in there for you. So I went ahead and boxed these up, charged him the $30 to ship it to Canada because that's where he's at, and made a couple $100 to do some work for somebody.
Cool.
But at the same time, it feels weird because while yes, I did have to reverse engineer it and I did have to do a color swap on one of them, it still felt like, I don't know, it wasn't quite like doing commission work. I don't know. What do you guys take on commission work of this in general? What do you think?
You're a horrible person and should be drugged through the streets and flogged with a brick.
Well, but in this particular scenario,
I mean, I've done commission 3 times. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean,
what's the question here? Like
it's a commission of someone else's work, though. I guess that's where you're getting at.
That was where I was like, do I do this? Because technically, this is somebody else's work.
So I was
when people ask me to reprint Lego stuff.
Now, the thing is that I kind of feel okay because I did preface, hey, did you reach out to the original builder? And the original builder basically ghosted him and said, no, I don't. And in my mind, I'm thinking, well, all right, your loss, my gain. Because the funny thing is that I remembered seeing that cat. And I was like, that's pretty freaking cool. Mm-hmm. And I hope it, I think I voted for it maybe or something like that, but it never happened. And it, away it went. And so I even tried looking for this guy to reach out to him myself. Couldn't find him. So I was like, all right, I'll build it. I mean, actually the funny thing was that by even looking at the pictures, there were some pieces that have since come out that made it actually easier to do some things that he was using some brackets for that I was able to use some snot for. So I did actually
innovate.
Yeah, I updated it a little bit. And then of course the Mtron version is completely all my custom color, the whole bit. And so I do feel like, I did put my spin on it, but at the same time though, it was still copying somebody else's work. Now my mech, that was a no-brainer. I was like, I'm surprised I didn't do an Ice Planet one to begin with. So that was, no big deal. And I didn't even have to charge the guy for any design time because it just took me a whole 5 minutes to recolor it and just pulled parts and just charged them for the parts. Which ironically, those Ice Planet pieces, they ain't cheap no more.
No.
They are not cheap anymore. And originally I was going to use blue Travis bricks. There was 7 of them that were originally needed for it. I'm like, no, I'm going to change those to white.
Yeah.
Because you can't. I mean, it's been 12 years since a Travis brick has been available in a set in blue.
Were you the one that posted on Instagram, like, dear Lego, please? Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I just saw that the other day. Figures.
Yeah, that was me. I did on behalf of A-Folds everywhere, please make the Travis brick in blue again. And while you're at it, go ahead and make it in red, because in red, it only came in a advent calendar. It was a Christmas poured piece. That's the only time it's been in red. Those things go for like $5 a piece. It's crazy. It's maddening. Oh, great. We got spam. Well-trained. I don't know. I don't know.
It's only on what do you call it?
Twitch.
No, Twitch. Yeah, that's
Twitch. I don't know. We're almost to the well. We actually probably are at the top of the hour, so I'm not going to worry about trying to boot them. And they got through some algorithm somewhere, but crazy.
So I'm guessing I'm the only Brick Fan Expo person here for this coming week.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is that it's right before.
Yeah, and that's part of it. So,
which ironically, I mean, it's got a lot of people who were probably not going to Brick World who are going to it. So it's probably it's fine. It's fine. Not everybody can make Brick World, and
we'll maybe bring back some pictures next week. Who knows?
Well, I know the Ericksons will be there. I think I saw Dom was going to get on a plane and go there.
Yeah, there's a few guests. I know Gene's going to be down there. Emma, a few others.
So, friends, people who become friends of the show because of Atlanta are going to their other shows, which is good.
Yeah, good for them.
Somebody reached out to me about the Brick Expo that's going to happen in Nashville, which is basically the week after Bricks Rodeo. I think it's July 14-ish, something like that, 12, 14-ish. And they asked if I was coming, and I said, well, no, because I will have just gotten back from Texas, and I'm not going on the road again. So,
have you covered all those counties, Matt? I mean, come on.
I'm almost done with Tennessee. I only have like 4 counties left in Tennessee. So going to Nashville isn't going to get me any counties, unfortunately, at this point.
Too easy. You've been through Nashville too many times.
Yeah.
Cool, Brick Jams. Come find me. I'll give you something. I'm out of old gray bricks, though. I'm sorry. They're gone. They're all gone. I need more literal 1x8 old gray bricks.
I think I have some because I need to get them to you because I lost mine in Chicago. So I know the only
all of mine are done. They're gone. I gave them all to Giddens, and I'm out.
They're out.
I am currently sorting gray, and I have a container of old gray. I'll have to look. It's the 2x8 or the.
I would even take old dark gray at this point because I prefer old dark gray myself.
I traded all that to Sandlin already.
I actually think the old gray bricks logo on the old dark gray looks fantastic. That's why my shirts are always gray.
It's that orange just really pops.
It does. Orange and gray, they go together like peanut butter and jelly. So
yeah, come find me. I got giveaways.
Ooh. So
also they have new bricks they're giving away at the convention. Ooh. Oh, I didn't say that out loud.
No,
there's not something new in Orlando this coming week.
Did you do the bricks for Atlanta Brick Company too?
I do all of theirs. Yeah, I do all the conventions now.
I'm not surprised.
So when are you going to quit your day job?
This is why I haven't been hitting you up to do
when I win the lottery and can actually pay for the printer. So.
This is why I haven't hit you up to do the Space Skulls and the Stardust just yet. We'll wait till things calm down, if they ever calm down for either one of us. So, but yeah. So, anybody else got any parting words of wisdom or thoughts or comments for this, that, or the other?
I had a question about commissions because I've never done a Lego commission. I've done Nerf blaster commissions, lots of them. But somebody reached out to me and they wanted me to build them a Santa. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce it. The Santa Mista Trinidad. It was a 140 gun ship.
Oh,
so my big ship of the line is 104 gun, but they actually did make a bigger one. The Spanish made a bigger one. And I wasn't even sure how to start trying to price
70 guns per side.
And that's kind of where I was kind of at. And this was also something that I have that it's a love-hate relationship with even getting asked to do something like that, because there's a part of me that's like, well, I don't want to sell myself short. So, for parts, I charge them what Bricklink tells me in studio what the value of the parts are, which is probably a little higher than what they would really be. But I'm also taking into account.
You got to figure in shipping too, though.
Well, that's just it. And there was a few pieces that I didn't have that I had to order, but I was ordering parts that I needed for me personally, so I was able to just absorb that shipping into what I was doing, so it wasn't a big deal. But then it was about, the time involved, because I multitask, but I don't want to sell myself short. But at the same time, I don't want to charge the guy, like quadruple what you could get a set from Lego. But the reality is,
you kind of have to, though.
Yeah, there's a lot of effort.
But you gotta figure in that time and the time it took you to source everything, time it took you to figure it out. And yeah, while it might be fun for you, it's still a job.
Well, but the thing is that racks up quick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, try drawing out and designing a minifigure.
Oh yeah. Well, that's that.
And hey, Simon, if you're watching, your minifigure's still coming. I swear. I just haven't had the time to finish it.
He's in Prague. Don't worry about it. But no. I mean, And if this was my job and I needed to feed myself doing it, I'm probably sure I'd be more like, oh no, this is what I'm going to charge, and it starts here and goes up. Where I started like here, and then I was like, we can make it here. I don't want to,
I mean, I try to give the best discounts I can, especially to repeat customers.
Yeah.
But for people that just send me, and I get requests all the time.
Oh, sure.
I mean, I have a minimum number at this point, and I'm like, I will not design a one-off for you for less than this number because it's not worth my time.
Right. No. And to answer your question, Captain, that, I mean, from what you're describing, figure whatever you would charge, whatever the cost of the bricks would be just to build it, and times it by 4. And that might be where you would start.
Yeah.
Well, you're looking at what, $500 just in cannon.
Yeah, I was gonna say 140. So that's 70%. How many floors of guns are there on a ship like that?
4.
Four. This is like standard first rate ship of the line had 3 gun decks. This particular one had a full 4 gun decks.
So it's like 4 gun decks of what, 8 guns per deck?
So okay. Oh, this is great info right here. This is good information here. Yeah.
With Moto.
Yeah. Yeah. And in hindsight, I probably could have done that and probably have scared the guy away. But at the same time, I was like, actually, this looks like fun. So I kind of,
and I take on projects myself like that, Dan.
Yeah. And I think I kind of look at it that way, where I think if I was to do it again, and he's actually asked me to do a couple more things, and I'll probably still keep the rate for him for these first couple projects that he wanted me to do at the same type of rate.
Well, I give good discounts to repeat customers.
Well, yeah. And this guy was, well, he's very, very laid back. And so I'm like, all right, well, he's not being very...
And sometimes new customers like VW Bricks.
Yeah. Just gotta toss some new guys in, see how things work. But I definitely got to go with Moto in the concept of, if I was to do a real full blown, from scratch, not from working off of a design of something else, I would definitely want to charge even more, because it would require even more time. I mean, this, look, reverse engineering is a skill that not everybody can do. But for me, it was like, I'm on a phone call. I can sit here and reverse engineer this. So
what you need to do is you need to add actual cockpits to these cats for the figures to fit in.
Yeah, that would be cool.
You need to make an Ice Planet, a Magnetron, a Blacktron, Classic Space, Space Police, and have them all form Voltron.
That's what I thought they were at first. I thought it was a Voltron mock.
The guy who designed the original cat that I worked off of, fantastic job. I mean, that was like, I'm like, this is really well done. I was sad that it didn't get to be a Lego Ideas idea, but yeah, I mean, there were some things that I would definitely go, and I was doing it because the guy wanted specifically what it was from the picture. But in hindsight, I'm like, I could have probably made it better, but I was also just kind of seeing how it would work. So he has asked me to do a Mr. Bunchu mech that is rideable. So I might foray into that. We'll see. Time will tell. I don't know. I'm still feeling this whole custom commission thing out. We'll see.
Yeah,
I mean,
commissions are a hard thing to price. When I do it for Nerf, or back when I did medieval stuff, I made armor or jewelry or whatnot. My go-to was cost of parts times 2, but a lot of those were, expensive parts in some cases.
Right. Yeah,
and that was also, I know that I was massively undervaluing my time, but I had a lot of time. I don't have as much time anymore, so my time tends to be more expensive.
Well, and that's kind of like, I mean, I for that very matter, because he wants me to do this other build for him. I'm like, it's going to be a while, because I got some other projects that I really need to take care of, and that's really kind of what I want to do right now, is those projects, not doing commission work. So I ended up putting
together a whole video just explaining how I do my commissions, because I got tired of people reaching out and going, well, how much would this cost? And I spend the time to source the parts and figure out what the cost is, send them, they're like, oh, that's too much, and then they leave.
Right.
So I just made a video going, watch this video, and if it's out of your budget, don't talk to me.
No, absolutely right. No, and actually, it was good to see Moto's concept, and yeah, if they're not willing to spend the cash, then
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm charging less for something custom for someone, then I would make it my daily job.
right,
Is it worth my time and effort to do something for somebody else?
exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My
So
argument
now,
is,
now let me say, because I see what you're saying there, Matt. But if it's something that they're like, hey, I don't care if you resell this or not, I just want one for me, then yeah, I'm not going to charge them. If it's something I think would sell. But
That's not what I was going to say.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I was commissioned by Adam to build some backdrops for his stop motion. And number one, they were buildings that I wanted to build. I basically got to pick the buildings. So I have a whole file of structures that I would like to build. So I started pulling those out and texting him. And he's like, yeah, those look great. Fine. And two, if they end up in a stop motion, I can show it to all my friends and be like, see that thing in the back? That's me.
Oh, you don't. I have been jonesing for the video that I built stuff for to get shown, and Lego has been dropping space Lego videos on social media like every other day, and they still haven't shown the one that Adam's done. And I'm like, oh.
So I'm waiting. I am waiting for the one that I worked on to drop. I don't think it's going to drop till later this year. But
Yeah, no, it's gonna. He's still working on it. It's not even done yet. So yeah, it's gonna be a while.
but there's that payoff of going. Yeah,
Oh, Joel. Yeah,
I contributed to that. Yeah.
no,
And
that
I got paid.
definitely.
I've had people that complained about my pricing system, and they're saying, well, why don't you charge by the hour? And I said, well, okay. You're asking me to
let me
build
charge
this.
by the hour.
Yeah,
Yeah, you want me to charge by the hour? I can work to give you the map for that because you're wanting my spare time.
yeah,
Well, this is what Dell thinks my time is worth. This is what time and a half is because you want me to work overtime.
right.
It comes out to a whole lot more. You were getting a discount because, one, I like building Nerf blasters.
Right.
I'm going to make a video out of it and put it on YouTube, which is going to get me views and revenue. You know, take the win, my dude.
Exactly.
You're already
No,
getting a huge discount.
and this is kind of why I started this conversation. I probably should have brought up earlier because we've gone way over on our time. Is that it's just a whole interesting concept in how it works. And I mean, I've worked with artists for a long, long time, and you know, for a guy to sit down and sketch something out, it depends on how much effort he wants to put into it. Whether it's a freebie, a $50 sketch, $100 sketch, a $200 sketch. You know, it varies on what you're doing. So. You know, that also comes into my mind about, you know, well, how much effort did I really have to put in versus, I was just doing it on the fly. If I was going to spend a lot of time on it, yeah, then I would probably want to charge even more because, as you pointed out, IBM pays me a good bit of money for my normal day-to-day time. And again, like you're saying, it's overtime, so it's, you know, above and beyond.
So Moto and I had a extended conversation about this. I think it was at Brick World. Or maybe it was Brick Slopes, because I was saying I would potentially sell the Mosaic, and I tossed out a number, and he goes, "Oh, you should double that. You should more than double that." I was like,
"Oh yeah."
He goes, let's walk through like what you spent. You spent 5 months building that thing. Your time's worth something. So he's like, just reimbursing yourself for your parts and your time, that's a bigger number. And he also said, the kind of person who could buy a 10-foot Mosaic and hang it on their wall is not going to be hung up on the price.
They have the money.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and I was like,
Yeah,
that's
weird.
I mean,
how
I look at pictures from Bricker Builds all the time, and some of their clients will post. They like have every model they've ever made on the wall.
Yeah,
and I'm just like looking like I've seen all of these models in person, and I know how much those things are charged.
Yep.
And I did the math.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I remember when they were going to bring out the Italian plumber.
Oh yeah.
And Chris told me what he was originally going to charge it for, and I said, "Oh no, you need." I think I can't remember whether I told him to double it or triple it. And he's like, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Here's a list of a couple people to reach out to. Ask them what they think." And he bumped it up, and they still sold out in like a couple hours. So no, The high-end
I've
stuff.
known people that undervalued their skill, and we told them, no, you need to quadruple that price, and if you haven't sold any by noon, then lower it slightly, and they were sold out by noon. You're like, we told you so.
And Chris, I believe you and I had this conversation at Atlanta BrickCon this year because I was trying to toss you more money, and you're like, no. And I'm like, no.
I have a soft heart for my friends.
I know. But I also want you to actually make something out of what you're doing. So
It baffles me.
I look
how
at it
many
as
people-
free advertising because I know you're going to put something out.
well, yeah, I'm gonna push the crap out of it. You know that.
It never ceases to baffle me how many people seem to believe that they should be able to get commission stuff for the price of materials. And they're
Yeah.
always like, well, I mean, I could buy the parts and do it myself for less than that. You're like, well, then go ahead. Like, well, I don't know how. So you can't, is what you're
Exactly.
saying.
And I need
Like
to
the
remind
Nerf
myself
blasters.
that because
For
that
the
was
Nerf
part of
commissions, a lot of the parts are fairly cheap, or the blasters I can get used at Goodwill and are fairly cheap.
Yeah.
But the skills and the tools, I don't think people realize how expensive, a drill press and a belt sander and a soldering
adds up
iron
to it.
and
Not,
all
not
of
to
that
mention the
adds up.
maintenance you have to do on those things weekly,
Yep.
or
And I also forget that a lot of things come to me for Lego a lot quicker because of time. I mean, I'm sure that I'm among my peers that if I mention a part, I'm sure at least one or two of you would know the frequency of how often that part was made, what color that came in, and how few or how many sets it came in. That's knowledge that we collectively have that most AFOLs probably don't. And
most
Save
wouldn't
the
even
time
know
and
where to
money just
find it.
knowing that.
Exactly. I mean, because even this particular person asked me about how many figures came in such and such series, and I'm like, that's available on the internet for free. You can just go look for it. and again, like you're saying, Chris, we know where it's at, and it's it's skills and time that we've gathered over time. So it's so weird.
We also know what questions to ask Google or Bricklink to get that information, because if you don't know the
We
right
know what
keyword,
Bricklink
Google
is.
and Bricklink
I mean-
will tell you nothing.
And even just knowing what Bricklink is doesn't. I mean, I remember back in the day, it wasn't until you started realizing how to go.
It's not intuitive.
It's
Yeah.
It's not.
Lego AI has not yet replaced us.
No, they have not.
I feel bad. I have pulled one of my oldest friends in California into the Lego hobby now, and I think his wife hates me. So
If you'd have gotten him into drugs, it would have been cheaper.
I introduced him to Bricklink, and then things just spiraled from there. And now,
Teach him
he,
how
took
to
over,
fish,
he
right?
took over one of her cabinets in the dining room, and
Teach a man to fish. Anyway, all right, we have gone way over. I'm probably in the doghouse with the critters outside. I'll have to check the critter cam and see how bad it is. But that being said, thanks for joining us. Thanks for following along. I know we've been a little bit of a hiatus due to Mr. Giddens in the process of moving and several other members traveling across the country on and off this summer. So unless
Hey, I just want to point out that while on the road,
You
appeared
have
on
joined.
a certain Canadian
Hey.
show with fair amount of regularity.
I got
Hey, man,
I got
I
to
joined
I
from
forgot
a
who was
tent in
asking
a
for these,
fucking-
but I made these.
I got to run y'all. Natalie's. I can hear Natalie screaming. "Ma."
I'm actually surprised.
great
we kept
seeing
you as
everyone.
long as we could. We'll see you later.
I will
Um,
take none of these excuses. I joined from a tent in a backyard in Friesland once. I fell asleep, but I joined.
You did, and you weren't the first person to fall asleep on the show, so that's okay too. So
But you were the
Oh,
most
that makes me feel
amusing while you fell
Yeah.
asleep.
This is true.
those look fantastic. I can think of a particular Norwegian who
Yeah,
lives-
Magnus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I meant to. I've had them sitting here for weeks and just hadn't had a chance to sit on the
Yeah.
show. So.
Exactly. So, all right. Well, until next time that you see us, which may or may not be next Monday or the Monday after, what time will tell. Go out there, be awesome to your neighbor, build something awesome, and we will catch you next time. Ta-ta for now. Ciao.
See ya.
I also did this weird new screens thing.